Hi everyone, Jenny from On Fire Fit, and welcome to the battlefield. I am going to be talking a lot about battling your giant because I am approached about this a lot, and I personally have battled giants, and I still do to this day, but I have learned a way to overcome things in the past that have really tripped me up, and I have learned a lot through trial and error, through prayer, through growing, through time, and I just wanted you to be encouraged to be able to fight whatever giant you are going through personally, and not to give up the fight because we already know who won the battle. It's just a matter of us actually joining the right army and deciding that we are not going to listen to the enemy anymore. So here we go, and I am going to give you a brief intro so you can decide if you are going to participate with me on this daily journey. So to begin with, I want you to think about your current giant, and this could be many things. It could be your health and your weight. It could be fear. It could be a career change. It could be your marriage. It could be a situation with your kids. It could be any number of things. And these giants will revolve in and out the door of our life at various times. And the key here is to learn that the battle plan is the same. It's just a matter of getting our minds on track and following our commander-in-chief, God, and not the dark side. Because the dark side I'm lumping all together as anything that deviates from the truth of God. So you could call that the world, what the world tries to tell us. You could call that Satan or our enemy. And you can also say that it includes our own destructive thoughts. So all of these things are the other side, the dark side, the side that really is not taking us on the path to abundant life, but taking us away from it. And really there are two main commander-in-chiefs that you get to choose between. And you have not been drafted into either one, you decide. Are you going to follow what God says in His truth, and are you going to listen to Him, or are you going to follow the other side, which is possibly what you have been doing for a lot of time without even really realizing it? The way that you are going to determine this is something that is probably pretty clear to you already, but I love visuals. So I made a little page here that you can download that will kind of guide you through this visual process of making your choice. Who are you going to follow? God, here He is with the big heart, or are you going to follow the side that deviates from God, which would be all of our destructive thinking, the enemy, the world, what the world tries to tell us? That one is represented by a little guy with a face that doesn't look very happy. And your current giant, it's going to change from time to time. You know, that's something that you could fill in that blank for now so that you have a plan of attack. But the way you're going to determine this, and I'll kind of quickly go through this, you tell me which side you more likely identify with. You will never get it right. You have made too many mistakes. You have no willpower. You are just this way. You have a lot to fear. You are making this all up in your head. You will never be free of this. You might as well give up. You have no discipline. You have every right to stay stuck. Just fight later. Or do you identify with this side? You are free. You are forgiven. You are a new creation. You have a destiny. I have created you for a purpose. I will never leave you nor forsake you. I see you as clean as snow. You have a spirit of power. You have a spirit of love. You have a spirit of self-discipline. You are fearless because I already won the battle. First of all, which side do you have more often going through your head on any given day over any given circumstance? You have inadvertently, even if you don't realize it, decided which camp you're in by the thoughts that you're allowing into your head. This is going to make all the difference in conquering this giant, because the enemy and that whole side is always going to try to take you on a path that deviates from God and what God wants for your life. And as Joyce Meyer says, Satan never rolls out the red carpet for you when you decide to improve on your life. That's paraphrased by me. So don't expect that things are just going to happen. You have to make a choice, and you have to decide which side you're going to listen to. And if somebody on the outside was looking at your life or inside of your head, which camp do you think that outsider would think you belong to? Guess what? You get to decide today that you're going to jump ship and you're going to go on the other side if you have been in the destructive camp. And you get to decide which commander-in-chief you're going to follow. I know for me, the day that I decided that no matter what it takes, I am going to follow God. I would rather please God than man. And because I know from my past and from what I read in the Bible that God is all-powerful and sovereign, I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that He is the one to follow. And it might not always look the way that I think it should look, but my trust in Him and my faith that grows is what is going to take me on the path towards the abundant life. And I pray that you are going to choose that side as well. Now, I know that it is easier said than done. And I also know that it is very easy to go through a book, a workbook, a devotional, and get a lot out of something, but not really change. I mean, I've read so many books, so many devotions, and so many, listened to so many different, podcasts and YouTube videos and things. And I truly believe that they have all prodded me and pushed me just a little bit closer towards going in the right direction. But until I actually took action and did something with that material, I didn't really see a big change. I'm not saying that it's not going to help you if you just skim the surface and read through the book, but I do truly believe that the more that you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it, number one, and that the more that you put into practice and actually use action accompanied with knowledge, you will start to see changes. Now, some people have very limited time to be able to revamp a bunch of areas of their life. Some people are at the end of their rope and they are willing to do a lot of stuff to sacrifice to make changes in their life. For me, in this particular stage of my life, I am willing to revamp a lot of different things because I feel that God is moving me in a different direction that is really going to require some tenacity. So I'm willing to do the things that are really hard and not just do little easy steps. I want you to really consider that and pray about it. The plan that I am going to unfold here does include quite a bit. You can certainly take one portion of it and choose to just build in that new habit, that new way of thinking, and put that into practice, or you can really start to amp it up and include a bunch of different areas of your life. And I am going to also do as an adjunct a nutritional plan that is for people who consider their current giant to be their health or their weight. On Fire Fit came about because I have seen how our physical body and how we feel about ourselves and the fuel that we're putting in our bodies can really change the way that we think and act and how our spiritual life is, how we think mentally. When you're eating a bunch of junk, you feel kind of junky and you just don't feel very inspired. And when you do start to make changes in your diet, I notice that you start to think clearer and you have a lot more interest in going out and doing more. You have more energy. So I would encourage you that if your current giant is your health or your weight, to also include some changes in your eating habits. And I will be leading you along the way with that as well. But for now, I would love for you to download this and make a choice. Which side are you going to join? And if you're already on that side that is God-led, then awesome, let's go for it. And if you're on the other side, or you notice that a lot of your way of thinking is the dark side, then this is perfect for you. You can join us in this process of getting your mind set on things above and running the race that God has laid out before you, just casting off everything that trips you up and is a hindrance to you so that you can really knock down this giant once and for all. So I hope that you'll join me. Thanks so much for being with me, and go out and live your life on fire.